Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're playing right now is a Chinese piece called Tuning. Nicole, you want to say something about Road to Lisdoonvarna?
Oh, sure. I spent several months in County Clare on the west coast of Ireland, where there's a lot of music, and I went to pub sessions 2 or 3 times a week. And another American walked in one night and he said, well, let me pick something that people are sure to know. Let's play the Road to Lisdoonvarna. We were on the road to Lisdoonvarna in this town. None of them had ever heard of it. But there are a lot of Irish tunes, and I think no single mortal knows all of them. So.
The names change as you cross county lines too.
Yeah, that could be true. We ready?
Yeah.
Mike, you're going to tell us about the hornpipe, right?
Yes. There's one of the forms of music that we play is a hornpipe, and it's got a kind of a meter that goes like da 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 like that, and that basically gives it the tone of a hornpipe. But one of the problems with it in this area is there's contra dancing, and you really can't contra dance to a hornpipe. But they like the tunes, so they take the tunes, they get the da da feature out, and they make it into a reel. And it's a nice tune, but it isn't the same. And so a lot of hornpipes have been devolving into reels and getting sort of
It'd be realized.
realized, yes, flattened out. Okay. So in response to this trend, Sandy started an organization called the National Save the Hornpipe Society. There's even buttons.
Really? True.
And
It's
so, and she's been having people come up, you can see the button, they go, oh, that's such a wonderful thing, you know, saving the hornpipe. I think they think it's a bird. And so, but at any rate, I decided to write a hornpipe to basically, you know, restoke, you know, the repertoire with new hornpipes. And in honor of this society, I decided to call it Save the Hornpipe. Now, it turns out that most hornpipes, not all, most hornpipes actually have the word hornpipe in their title, okay? So this one I decided to call it Save the Hornpipe. So the question arises as to whether the name of the tune is Save the Hornpipe without adding the hornpipe, so it'd be like Save the Hornpipe, Hornpipe. Or the name of the tune is just Save the and Hornpipe. It's the Save the Hornpipe.
Save the hornpipe.
So anyway, here's,
So I just want to add this, that this started out as a New Hampshire, the New Hampshire, I think Ed, you were one of the.
I've got the original button.
He has an
Here's the
original, but he's a
original.
charter member of the New Hampshire Hornpipe Preservation Society. And when I talked about this at a festival in New York State, people wanted to join, but they didn't want to join a New Hampshire organization. So I said, okay, we're the National Hornpipe Preservation Society. It was very easy, just, a few changes on the screen of my computer. And then I went to Scotland and I played in a session at a pub, and I was telling the fellows I was playing with about the National Hornpipe Preservation Society. They said, we want to join too. And I said, well, sure, but wait a minute, there's a problem with that. It's a U.S. organization. Okay, we're international. So I got their addresses and I made them International Hornpipe Preservation Society buttons and I mailed them to Scotland. So we do have members in Scotland now.
And I took it to Portland and I just got a lot of strange looks.
But here's what I think, that what Mike said, that the devolving, these hornpipes could actually, become extinct if people don't play them. And sometimes they don't use the word hornpipe. I'm glad that Mike does in the title. So you don't even know it's a hornpipe and they don't play it as a hornpipe. So my sense is that years from now, musicologists will find one of these buttons in a wall somewhere. And they'll go, we don't know who these people were, but they helped to save the hornpipe.
I think eventually the organization is going to grow and then become more mysterious, and after a couple hundred years, it'll be like the Illuminati or the Masons or something. People really won't know how it started or what the beliefs are. All right, this is Save.
This is it. like to have Bill come on up and lead us in another song. And I think you're going to know this one.
Just coming down to the floor. Back way.
Actually, you shouldn't go out the back way. I should stay up here.
Yeah, go right up here.
Go right here. Yeah, okay, I'm good. Just pop right here.
Okay.
Thanks, folks.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay. Well, you know, this is one of those, it's going to be a fantastic song. I've known it for many decades. You've probably heard it too. I think the Clancy brothers did it. Other people did it also. But it is really, you have a big role in this, actually, in the refrain or the chorus part. And I'll teach you it. It'll be very familiar, perhaps. There's a portion of the song there's 4 verses after the first one. In fact, we'll start with the refrain. It will say, no, it's no, nay, never. 1, 2, 3. No, nay, never, some more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. This is the time to sing. We're in the dark. You won't embarrass yourself. We'll go for it, right? Okay. So. Right. Whoop. Let's make sure I get that on proper. It'll just get sounded here. And it's no name, and it's no nay, never. Yeah, no nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? Now, never, no more. That's it. I've been a wild rover for a number of years, and I spent all me money on whiskey and beer. And now I'm returning with gold in great store. I'll never play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never. Yeah. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. I went into the alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady me money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such customs as yours I can have any day. And it's no, nay, never. Let's hear it. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. Well, out from my pockets I pulled 10 sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened up with delight. She says I have whiskies and wines of the best, and the words that I told you were only in jest. And it's no, they never hear it. No, they never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. I'll go back to me parents, confess what I've done, and I'll ask them to forgive the prodigal son. And if they caress me as oft times before, I'll never play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never. Hear it. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the rover? No, never. One more time. And that's no, nay, never. Hear it. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. Thank you very much. Great job. Thanks a lot.
Well, usually, just before we come back on stage, we start, I thank a lot of people, and I guess I'm gonna do that now. I wanna thank, our sound engineer, Mr. Nick Loy, in the back. Yeah, setting up for this is interesting, you know, lots of and Erwin Kahn has also been his right-hand man on sound. So thank you for that. just thank Mary Witzel and Scott, who are Abbott, who are here and help set up the chairs. Well, actually, a lot of you help too set up the chairs, but Mary and Scott are here every month and help set up the chairs. And Scott also does our posters and flyers. So big hand for them for all that. But thank Gary for helping set up with the sign and all the other stuff today. We had the wind. Did you see the wind today?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had some sign issues.
Talk about a flyer.
Talk about. That's your dad. And I also wanted to thank the Wilton Main Street Association, which helps to fund us and this series. None of us are being paid for today, so we are able to give a small honorarium to the school, In the Field Irish Dancers, and we're so grateful that they came all the way down from Concord. And people have asked me, where do you all come from? So would you start over there? Just say your name, where you're from?
I'm Michal. I live in Lowell, Massachusetts.
I'm Art. I live in Hancock, New Hampshire.
I'm Gary, I live in Temple, New Hampshire.
Bill in Nashua.
Ed from Nashua.
Mike from Amherst.
Bill from Merrimack.
Debbie from Amherst.
He's Herbie, I don't know where he's from.
And he's Kip.
And I'm from Hollis.
And you're from Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon.
So there you go. And I'm Sandy. I live here in Wilton. So the next tune. Let's see if you listened to Mike talk about the hornpipes. This next tune is a hornpipe. So will we all go, save the hornpipe, right? Okay, so you can cheer that at the end. This is a hornpipe. This is the Rights of Man hornpipe. And the Rights of Man, of course, was a title of a highly popular book that was written back in 1791 by Thomas Paine, the English radical. And that book influenced widely both the French and the American revolutions. This tune is the title. I mean, it's Rights of Man. That's what the tune is. And it's a hornpipe. And it says here I'm supposed to start this. Oh.
setting up, or are the dancers setting up, or are we playing them in?
You want 1B for them to come in, or you're gonna speak?
I wanna
Yeah, you
talk
wanna- Yes. Tell us about the dances.
Hornpipe, go bra, right? You're all my witnesses. I am returning the list. So, I want to do you all a favor. We're 10 days out from St. Patrick's, right? So, how would you like to win $5 from somebody on St. Patrick's Day? Sure. You go up and you say, I bet you can't tell me the official color of Ireland. What are they going to say? They're going to say green, of course. And they would be so wrong. Did you know that the official color of Ireland, sure, is not green at all at all? It's blue, because it's the background on the coat of arms. And now you know. And now you can win $5 from somebody on St. Patrick's Day. It's true. It's true. Look it up. All right. The next dance we're going to do for you is a set dance. And I spoke a little bit about that before. It's always for couples, similar to the quadrilles and American square dancing. Now, we'd use lots of different music in sets. And it can have anywhere from 3 to 7 figures, or figures if you prefer. There's reels, there's jigs, there's slides, there's hornpipes, there's polkas. And each county and sometimes each town has their own dance and their own footwork as well. So there's a lot to know. Sets became globally interesting in the 90s. And you had, it was very popular with adults because they didn't have to be up on their toes all the time and jumping and all that. And but the interesting thing was you could go to, obviously, Ireland, England, Australia, and find a set class. But you could also go to Germany and Italy, and my personal favorite, you could go to China and find set classes. That's how interested the world was in set dancing. So what we're going to show you here is a polka set. Actually, we're only going to show you a few bits and pieces of it, or we'd be here till midnight. And this is from County Kerry. They are, Kerry and Cork have the most of the polka sets, with some jigs thrown in sometimes. And so this is from County Kerry, and it continues your tour around the country because the dances are named for different areas. So, the Kerry set.
You want 1B?
I want 8 bars.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I want 8 bars. I'll go drinking in all of them. You'll notice that in set dancing, everything is a little more casual. You wouldn't probably see the capes. You'd have different shoes, not gillies, and everything is a little more, you know, you can improvise, there's battering. It's fun. Okay, well, now it's my turn to say some thank yous. First of all, Sandy, thank you so much. This has been a delightful evening, and the band, you guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for having us. It's been a thrill. Next time, let's not put 8 years in between. I want to thank my parents and families, because if we couldn't coordinate the schedules and they didn't shuttle them all over the place, we have, you know, like 5 more shows this month, I couldn't do it without them. Thank you to the audience for coming. It's kind of important that you're here for a show, and I hope you have a wonderful St. Patrick's season. And of course, I want to thank my dancers. I'm kind of... Thank you. I'm pretty fond of them. Some of my intermediate and beginners are in the audience as well, because it's a family affair. I have 5 from one family, 4 from another, 3 from another, and so on. So when one gets sick, we're in trouble. But anyway, thank you for all the technicians, the one I brought, and all the rest. We're very grateful to have, you know, so we can show to friends and family. It has been just a lovely, lovely night, and I couldn't be happier. So thank you again. It's been really good. Thank you. Our final number is a reel, and it's a choreographed dance, and it's probably our favorite. Oh, sorry, it's usually a reel, but we're making it a jig tonight, right, guys? Remember 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I also should have said, not only do I have my beginners and my advanced and my intermediate, I also have that one belongs to me and that one belongs to me. I'm kind of fond of them too. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to tell you that this is the In the Field Irish Dancers presenting the ribbon dance. Come join us in Concord.
8 measures.
Yes, please.
Oh, no, that is right, that's correct. So Bob. come on
Yes, and I am Bob from Brookline.
up. Yay!
About 25 years ago, I started going to a session up at the press room in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. My brother brought me kicking and screaming, and I was a fixture there ever since. It was called the Celtic Session, although a true Celtic session does not include singing. Anyway, the nucleus of the group was a group called the Angel Band, who got together some years before that and started playing O'Carolan tunes. And they were finally convinced by a number of people to go to the annual O'Carolan competition in Ireland. They won it 3 years in a row. One of the frequent visitors to the press room was Tommy Makem of the Clancy Brothers. Tommy lived after retirement in Dover, New Hampshire, 15 minutes away from Portsmouth. So he quite frequently joined us at our sessions. And he was an amazing man. He put on concerts, and he talked about everybody should sing something every day. It doesn't matter what it is, where, why, or how. Sing something. It's nourishment for the soul, and I truly believe that. So we're going to sing The Boys of Killybegs, which was written by Tommy Makem after he was with the Clancy Brothers. And it has a chorus. You might pick it up. These guys back here know it, right? They said yes. We'll see. There are wild and rocky hills on the coast of Donegal, and the fishermen are hardy, brave and free. And the big Atlantic swell is a thing they know right well, as they fight to take a living from the sea. With a pleasant rolling sea, and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the foam. When the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys of Killybegs come rolling home. Now you don your rubber boots, and you've got your oilskins on, and you check your gear to see that it's okay. It's okay. And your jumper keeps you warm, for it's cold before the dawn, and you're ready to begin another day. With a pleasant rolling sea, and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the foam. When the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys of Killybegs come rolling home. Now you're headed out to sea, and the wind is blowing free, and you cast your nets as rain begins to fall. But the sun comes rolling high, and the clouds will soon roll by, and today you'll maybe take a bumper haul. With a pleasant rolling sea, and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the foam. When the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys of Killybegs come rolling home. When the weather it turns rough, and the work is very rough, and the ropes will raise the welts upon your hands. But you'll never leave the sea, for whomever you may be. When it's in your blood, it's hard to live on land. With a pleasant rolling sea, and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the foam. When the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys of Killybegs come rolling home. Now there's purple on the hills, and there's green down by the shore, and the sun has cast its gold upon the sea. And there's silver down below, where the herring fishes flow. When you catch 'em, there'll be gold for you and me. With a pleasant rolling sea, and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the foam. When the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys of Killybegs come rolling home. With a pleasant rolling sea, and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the foam. When the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys of Killybegs come rolling home. There you are. Thank you.
reels here. They're kind of marchy reels. The first one is a Scottish tune called Jamie Allen. Sometimes it's called Jimmy Allen. And so the tune is associated with, see if you know this, Northumbrian musician Jamie Allen, who was born in 1734 and died in 1810. And he was a famous small piper. Small
I
pipes.
remember him well.
Okay, I'm done. But he was a horse thief. And he died. It's why he remembers him.
I have horses.
One less. But he died in a house of corrections after living there for 7 years for being a horse thief. So that's the first tune that we're going to play in the set, Jamie Allen. And the second one is Rakes of Mallow, and that's kind of that. We used to play almost exclusively in Milford, and we kind of called ourselves the Rakes of Milford. This does not reply to garden implements, okay? Not rakes or any of those kind of garden tools. A rake, rogue, rascal, kind of get the idea, but the nicest kind, absolutely, right? But the Rakes of Mallow, this tune, you may recognize it as the tune that is played in the movie The Quiet Man. And I learned this tune in Fife and Drum Corps when I was playing Milford Fife and Drum. And if you watch The Quiet Man, you will see that all the way through the tune, all you hear is the first part, the A part. My son was playing fife at the time, and we watched The Quiet Man as a family, and he goes, "Mom, why do they just keep playing the A part? When there's another part to this tune." And then towards the end, they break into the B part, and he went, "Finally!" So that's the memory I have of this. But the Rakes, Rogues, and Rascals, the Rakes of Mallow. There are lyrics to this. Thank your lucky stars we're not singing them, because they're rather inappropriate. But the tune is great.
Not suitable for any audience.
Right. Let me see how it starts here.
2 notes.
That's one, right?
Right.
Yep. wonderful audience, and it's been a lot of fun playing this group, which actually got started about 25 years ago. Art, you were there.
Yeah.
The original. Who else was here at the original?
I was there on the second
The
time.
second time. Kip was there. Yep,
Yeah.
you were there. And so the group is, people have come, people have gone, and and a few of us old ones are still sticking around. Yeah.
So far.
So we play here. We have been playing here on the first Thursday of the month. If you play an acoustic instrument, get in touch with me and I can give you details about that. But also, if you like this kind of music, a lot of the players up here play for the Milford Contra Dance, which is just a stone's throw over in Milford at the town hall. We're fond of saying, it's every fourth Friday, so that you can remember that it's not, sometimes it's the last Friday, but sometimes it's not, but it's always the fourth Friday, at 7 o'clock in the beautiful Milford Auditorium. And you don't need to know how to do anything. Just if you can walk, you can contra dance. And we've been having some really fantastic dances with upwards of 80, 90 dancers. And we have a sit-in band that usually numbers at least a dozen. It was 14, I think, this past month. And March happens to be the Mad Hatter's Ball. So find your crazy hat and come dance. It's a lot of fun. You don't need to bring a partner, because people change partners with every dance, and there's people there of all ages. Admission is $10 for adults, $7 for seniors and students, and children under 12 are free. So, with that, I will say we have 2 pieces left for you. The first one is our final piece, and the second one is our encore, which is our encore, which is a song. Okay? All right. So this is a tune by Jerry Holland, very famous fiddle player, and it's called My Cape Breton Home. He was a Cape Breton fiddle player. So, Mike, you're going to start this one.
I am.
Yeah.
That's the theory, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on back, Bobby.
Our encore. So Kip, and all the singers, right? Yeah. All of our singers.
We'll all sing.
Yeah.
We can all sing.
And
As
how
you
about a
know, you
hand
can
for our
sing too.
singers too, by the way? Very nice.
So this was the closing piece at the press room every night, every Friday night. So I've been singing this for many, many years. I sing the Seaman's Hymn when I go to the shanty session in Gloucester, but, so this is, my mind just went totally blank. And the name of it is,
Head this way, go like this.
all the money.
She gave you the chord right there.
Oh, I got the chord, I just.
Of all the money, yeah.
Of all the money, yes. Of all the money that e'er I've had spent, I've spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades that ever I've had, they're sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that e'er I've had, they wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Thank you and good night. Get out of the way so you can see them.
We have the dancers come up too and take another bow. Come on up.